So it is Thursday and it is raining like crazy today. And for those of you that don't know, I am going from this building here. That I am sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera real quick. I'm going from this building here, which I do most of my work from, to the church, which just happens to be like, I don't know, 20, no, probably 100 feet maybe. I don't know. I'm a bad guess on distances like that. And so this morning I got totally drenched. It was not that fun. So anyway, that's my Thursday morning. Hi, Belle. I am so glad that you are there. You're on YouTube. I have James Moore, my dad, and Anna and Laura on Instagram currently. And so, but you know what? Even though with the rain and everything else, look, I love it. James, hi, how are you doing there on Instagram? I absolutely love rain. Always have. I think I always will. I love storms. I love rain. I just think there's something peaceful about it, and so I think that it is a renewing. There's a, it's the growth that's coming down and it's cleaning everything. I think it's great. Belle says hi to everybody. I know those on Instagram. I try to make sure that I comment back and forth. Laura says good morning, and Anna says good morning too. But so I love the rain, so I'm never going to complain about that, even though if I get drenched, it's okay. We dry off, right? So, but it's Thursday morning. Hopefully, okay, Bethany is watching too. So hi, Bethany. Hopefully you were able to catch some of Pastor Jason Beasley talking about Galatians. Next week, I'm going to be doing the Wednesday Galatians 3 and 4. And so I myself was not able to. And this is where I get some understanding and some comprehension of that sometimes things are hard. And it does make light of when things pop up on here that, not everybody is able to join on. There are times where it's just really hard to focus and pay attention. I was on last night. I was looking at questions to see if there was anything I needed to answer as far as my online pastoring job goes. But actually able to pay attention, take notes, and listen to what Jason was saying was not something that I was able to do last night. But I do plan, and I want to make it intentional to go back and listen to what he had to say. And so, I would challenge you guys to do the same. If you're not able to join us on a lesson, those are on Zoom. But if you're not able to join us on, these 110s, the things that we do that are able to go back on YouTube and Facebook, try to do that and check that out. Yes, I'm getting a question asking about it. Wasn't on YouTube. I was going to ask Blake what happened. And then I think we're going to try to get that posted on YouTube. So I don't know what happened with the stream on YouTube. It didn't seem like it was going last night, but they seem to be having some technical difficulties. I was not here in the building. I was at home, which is why I couldn't, you have toddlers running around. I say toddler and a baby, running around, hungry and everything else. It's chaotic to try to watch something that's not interesting to them at this stage in their life. So, but I will find out, and then we'll get it. We have it saved because it's on Facebook, so we'll post it on YouTube. It just might be a day or two, so I'll let you know specifically, Dad. But we'll make a post about it also that is available on YouTube at the time that it can be. So anyway, this morning, I say all that to just say I understand that sometimes things happen and sometimes get there. Don't think that we're upset or we're frustrated or angry because maybe there was a meeting or there was a devotion or there was something, a game time or whatever that you couldn't make as a youth group. We're not upset and frustrated and angry at that. We understand things happen. But sometimes I would say try to go back and watch those. I know that I've talked to Kathy before, and I know she's made comments that they are not able to, and I think Thursday and Friday are the days that they are not able to do things because of other things in their life going on. But they go back and watch them later. So, that's things that we should do. We should make time, and and it might not be the exact time that everyone else has, but we should do that at some point. So this morning kind of trails into the thought process that I had this morning. Romans 14 this morning, verse 13. That's why I got a little confused. Romans 14, verse 13. It says this: "Therefore let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother." You know, it is very challenging to not look at other people and try to decide their intentions. And I say that by saying it is easy sometimes to look at someone's life and say, they did this, so they are bad, or that was a bad decision, or they shouldn't be doing this, and I should tell them no. Because I say it's easy because we assume we know their intentions. We don't always know their intentions, though. And so when you read Romans in Romans 13, 14, actually, most of Romans, but when you get into those sections, what Paul is trying to say and what he is teaching is that there were a lot of different thought processes on things such like eating, or what day to worship, or what to wear, or how to act in certain areas and things of this nature. And what Paul was saying is that just because somebody thinks differently than you, just because someone makes a different decision than you, does not necessarily mean they are wrong. Now, obviously, we have very specific things that we know are right and wrong, but it gets into gray areas a lot of times on where somebody should be doing something and how somebody should be doing something. And we need to be careful. Here's what the big thing that I want to pull from this is that you should be, and we could have a huge long discussion about what we should tell other people about, what we should confront in other people in their lives. But you should be the person that is the person that you are the hardest on should be yourself. I think I said that correctly. But what I'm trying to say is you should be harder on yourself than you are with anybody else. You should expect and pay attention and focus on your life more than you focus on anybody else's when it comes time to trying to say what people should be doing differently. This is what Scripture would teach. It would teach that you are supposed to be focusing on learning and growing and having a relationship with God, and so doing, making every decision that you make, every thought that you have, bringing it captive, bringing every action into submission to what God would teach us to do. That's what Scripture teaches us to do. That's what God and Jesus would show us in Scripture on how we are to live our lives, that we are to live holy and blameless lives. And that everything that we do, whether it's our thoughts, God started with our actions when we discuss all of the laws and everything back in the Old Testament. And Jesus took that further, not as he was adding to it or anything else, but he was explaining that God wasn't just worried about actions. What he was also worried about was our thoughts and our intentions and our efforts. And so Jesus says, no, it's not just about the things that you do. You can act appropriately, but think wrongly. You're supposed to think correctly too. You're still supposed to act appropriately, but you're also supposed to think appropriately. And then Jesus goes on and through Paul and teaching us different things, that it should not be our focus to point out everyone else's flaws. We should not be spending our time trying to find faults in other people. What we should be doing is trying to improve our relationship with Jesus Christ. There are times, obviously, and again, we can have huge long discussions about this, of when we are supposed to approach somebody and when we should be confronting other people in love and telling them what they're doing is wrong and trying to help them grow. But there's also a lot of time that we spend focusing on other people and other people's decisions that we shouldn't be. We should be focused on making our lives better, and not better in the sense of us getting improvements or becoming richer or smarter or anything else, but that we are becoming more like God. And in so doing, we will know those opportunities when we're supposed to tell somebody about something in their life that they may not see and they may not know. But we also we'll find ourselves focusing a lot more on ourselves in the relationships than we're focusing on other people. And I think this is huge because, one of the big things that we talk about or we hear is the hypocrites and the people that are wrong in the church, and we like to point them out, and then we like to use that as reasons or excuses for why we do something wrong too. We'll say, I'm not going to go to church because that's where the hypocrites are. When we're supposed to go to church, Scripture says that we're supposed to be in church. It says that we're supposed to be in a community. We're not supposed to forsake that. But yet we'll disobey that command because we're trying to say that other people are hypocrites, which in turn makes us a hypocrite. And so if we were focused on ourselves and saying, yeah, there's hypocrites at the church, and I'm one of them, then we start changing the mentality of what church should look like and what people should look like, and that it's okay to be broken, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to grow, and it's okay to not have all of the answers. And we start focusing on ourselves, and we stop focusing on everybody else, and we make people at that point then feel more free to work on some of the things in themselves. Right now, I think we've created a culture where we have to down other people or find faults in other people so that we can feel better about ourselves, or so that we can cover up the things in ourselves that we need to fix. And we dare not tell other people about our faults, because then we are going to be the ones that are told that we're wrong, and that we're the ones that get judged and blasted. And so if we were so focused, and I think correctly focused on ourselves, and trying to work on our relationship with God, no matter the cost. Jesus says we cut off our right hand, or we take out our eye if it's causing us to sin. If those are things that we need to do, then we do it, regardless of what other people are going to think. We don't worry about other people. We worry about making our relationship with Jesus important. And we do that regardless of anything. And I think when we do that, then we start opening the doors for other people to be able to do that too. We don't need to take on the job as Jesus and go around and telling everybody what they've done wrong, and trying to correct everyone's lives, and constantly trying to fix people. What we need to do is learn how to love people, and know how to care for people, and to show them that it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to not have all the answers, and allow them opportunities to grow. If I constantly do everything for my kids, and I'm constantly telling them every aspect of where they're wrong, or what they need to do, or how they need to do it, then I'm never letting them make decisions, and I'm never letting them grow. Now, obviously, Timothy's a little bit younger, and so there's more that I tell him no, and there's more that I don't let him do, and I make those decisions for him, because I know that he's going to get really hurt if he makes that decision. But as they get older, specifically, I look at someone like Autumn, even, that there are some times where I have to let her make decisions, and she has to decide on her own, and I might think that they're wrong. They might be wrong. They might be right, and I'm wrong. It might not just be something I just don't like. But even if I'm correct, and that's the wrong thing to do, sometimes I have to let her make that decision, and her grow through that. And I can love her through that no matter what, and I don't have to change what I'm supposed to be. And I think that's what Romans would tell us here in 13 and 14, would tell us how we're supposed to be with other people. So my challenge to you this morning is twofold, but it usually is twofold, right? I usually have a twofold purpose, or point. But the purpose is that we absolutely need to be focused on improving our relationship with Jesus. We need to constantly be finding the areas in our lives that we need to adjust, or we need to fix, or we need to improve on. And there always is. The moment you get to a spot where you don't think you have anything to fix, and that you're good, and that you're set, I'm telling you, is the most dangerous position, because you're blind to the fact that you're not correct, and you're not perfect. We never will be. There's always things that we need to work on. The second thing, the twofold purpose of that, is to realize that everyone else has things they need to work on. Everyone else has stuff that's going on. Everyone has growth that needs to happen. Let them have it. Let them have that growth, and just love them. Show them. It's not saying that it's okay. I'm not going to tell Autumn if she starts putting her hand on the stove, yeah, just keep doing it. It's great. It's fine. And she says, it hurts though. And I'm like, yeah, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. No, I'm not doing that. That's not the right thing. But it's saying, hey, I told you that's hot. And if you're really going to touch it, then go ahead and touch it. and I'll help you when it gets hurt, and we'll help bandage it, and then hopefully you'll learn, and then I'll try to tell you again, but lovingly. And so we do this in the way that we are allowing people the opportunity to grow, allowing people to make decisions, and allowing people to be people. And so we need to do that while we are continuing to grow. So let's make sure that we're focused on those two things today and this week, the coming future. So tomorrow we are going to do some game time. I think, does anybody remember? I think that we said 4:30. I could be wrong. Can somebody remind me? Did we say 4:30 tomorrow? Somebody, let me know. I think it was 4:30. If not, we'll get the right time out. But I believe that it was 4:30. I'm getting a thumbs up. So 4:30 tomorrow, we're going to get together. We're going to play some games if you can. If you can't make it, we'll miss you completely, but we understand. So I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.